There is one absolute truth in this reality, and that is that you can be one person one moment, and 10 minutes later you can be a completely different person, and it can be that drastic, that dramatic, and that impactful. And the way that I can speak with authority, or the way that I can share this idea that some of you or many of you may be able to relate to, is stories. Have you ever watched a film? Have you ever watched a TV series? Have you ever listened to somebody's story? Have you ever come across somebody and listened to their journey and been so drawn in, so sucked in, so impacted by their journey and their story that you find that you begin to change? You want to change. You're inspired to be different, to do different, to live life in a different manner. And the reason why I do this video is because there are so many people that are stuck on the same level of the spiral. You know, they're stuck on the same level of the spiral. And this reality, the reason why it has duality, the reason why it has difference, the reason why it has change, the reason why it has people who think differently, who feel differently, why we have different seasons, different times, the reason why there's difference is so that we can explore and experience this life to the absolute fullest. It's so that you can experience the absolute depths of an emotion, of an experience, of an idea, and then move on to something else. So that you can get the richness of life, so that you can feel the richness of life. Because life is not supposed to be cardboard. It's not supposed to be mundane. It's not supposed to be boring or filled with suffering and misery. It's not supposed to be. Okay, it's not supposed to be. You are a living, walking God. You are a living, walking God. I don't care if you're fat, thin, you come from this country, you come from poverty, you come from this or that. I'm not interested. All I care about is that you know what it is that you are. Because if you know what you are, if you know your true self, if you know who you are, if you know what you're about, then you can decide to live life the way you want to. Now, I know for a lot of people this might irritate you, and yeah, I get it, because you might think, oh, that's fantastic, James. But right now I'm suffering, and I don't see a way out of it. I don't see a way out of it. I don't see how I can gather any more strength. I don't see how I can gather any more willpower to change my reality. Well, as ironically with the situation I feel myself to be in, I would resonate with you. However, first of all, nothing's ever too late, because that's the nature of life. And in fact, you can prolong an idea of misery. Ready for this? You can prolong an idea of misery with the thought process that it's too late. And you know what? It will go on and on and on and on, and weeks will go by, and months will go by, and years will go by, until you decide that you've had enough, and until you decide that you want a different way of life. And when you do that, you will find that your life changes. And that's when regret kicks in. Because regret will kick in when you realise that you could have done it years ago. So the only solace that I can give you, if you're suffering, if you're going through pain, the only solace I can give you is that you can change it. But you have to find the mettle to do it. You have to find the guts to do it. You have to find the courage to do it. This is why I like going to the gym. Because I purposefully go to the gym. Again, you might say, well, I haven't been for a fair while, but I've still trained at home. I will train, let's take the gym out of it, I will train my body through suffering, through pain, through discomfort, through I want to sit on my arse and eat sweets, or I want to sit on my arse and do nothing, or I'm tired and I don't want to do. I will train, because I know that going through that misery and suffering keeps my bar high. Keeps my bar high, doesn't let me slip into despair, doesn't let me slip into being pathetic, really. Doesn't let me slip into being pathetic. And that might sound, you know, a little bit condescending to people, but I can't help the fact that I exist on this planet knowing the ultimate potential of all people. And people say, oh, well, I've only got one leg, or I've only got one arm. There's motivational speakers, there's people out there with no legs or arms. There's a guy called Inky Johnson. He had an accident in American football. His entire right arm is unusable, but that doesn't stop him. It doesn't stop him from living his life. It doesn't stop him from doing something different. And the reason why I say this is because no matter how bad you think your life is, no matter how much you think that you are incapable of doing things, they're all excuses. And sometimes in life, it does take somebody to come along and give us that kick that we need. You know, instead of saying that it's okay to be not okay. Yeah, you have to start at a baseline, but it's not okay to be not okay forever. It's not okay to be not okay every single day. It's not okay to be not okay every single moment of the day, living in misery and living without any passion, any sense of character or feeling. That's not okay. You know, and it's sometimes with society we're desperately trying to soften ourselves so much that there is no character anymore. There is no character. There is no integrity. There is no pushing beyond your limitations or your perceived limitations. You know, the amount of people that will cling on to a label so desperately is because they feel that they can finally find comfort in knowing who they are. You will never know who you are fully, because you will forever find yourself until you pass on, because that's the nature of the game. You'll know yourself fully and completely when you die, because that's when you'll return back to all that is. It's when you'll find out, you'll remember. Okay? Look, I'm not saying, I don't like making absolutes. I'm doing that because I'm pretty fired up at the minute. But, you know, there are ways to know yourself intimately. But you will discover more about yourself. And I think that's a part of life. I think that a part of life is making sure that you are continuing to discover more about the depths of who and what you are. More about your capabilities. More about your feelings and what those feelings present to you. You know, that's the beauty of life. That's what, I mean, what's the point otherwise? What's the point? What's the point in scrolling until you're dribbling over your phone? What's the point in watching 1,000 TV series because half of them now are literally designed to make you feel miserable because they're terrible? The only good films are now the ones, the olden day films. You know, I suppose that's some of you might think, I'm 29, so 1995 up till 2000, whatever. It's very rare to find a good film. Why waste your time? Why waste your time? You know, yeah, corny phrase, if you want something different, you have to do something different, but it's true. It's absolutely true. You want to be an artist? Oh, I can't paint because somebody in school said it. Try. Give it a try. Please, for at least try for 3 months to prove yourself wrong and actually give it a proper good effort, because you might find that actually you're pretty good. Because like all things, it's about learning. You know, it is about learning. If we are all God, universe, creator, all that is, if we are all that, there isn't anything you really can't do. The only question is, what is it that actually gets you excited? What makes you feel good? That's the only real variable. The rest of it doesn't matter. So, again, something for you to think about. You know, don't wallow in misery. Don't wallow in misery. Don't wallow in the philosophy that you are where you are because you're where you are. Because it's only the lingering on your past. What people said to you, the experience. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And it's interesting because a lot of you will know that I'm a guide, and, you know, I guide differently. This is more of a passionate video. But the truth is that nobody cares, and I learned that a long time ago. And the benefit of learning that was I then was able to dictate what my life was. Because if I was going through a horrible, challenging, rough period, I could either sit and wallow in misery or do something with it. It went straight into the gym. It went straight into my body. It went into the respect, the discipline, the focus on my physical body and my mind. It went on my body and my mind. And I used it. Years of suffering, I used every single minute of it. Every single minute of suffering in my life, I used for something. Try using yours. Use your suffering. Don't just sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Use it. Do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, go for a run, go out somewhere. Go and volunteer. You know, I've got no money to do so. Go and volunteer. Find something that requires no financial endeavour. Find something. Prove yourself wrong. Why not? Does it not beat where you're sat, where you are? Prove yourself wrong. Try it. Just try it. That's it. Just try it. You know, the addictions are strong nowadays. Everybody's addicted to something. No. Many people are addicted to something. Not everybody. Can't say everybody. That's a ridiculous sentence. But many people are addicted to something. So try something different. Have some discipline. Discover the things that build your discipline and your character and your integrity and your fortitude. Find the things that build that. If you want to stop something, find the things that help you to stop. Find the things that help you to stop. Some thoughts for you today. So, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care of yourself, guys. See you in the next one.